back to another episode of Popcorn Heroes. So
yeah.
with me as always is Pedro.
Hello.
And that's it. It's a twofer, this one, a duo, as they say.
Yeah.
So today, guys, we're going to be talking about streaming, and not usually we talk about movies and shows, but today's a little bit different. We're talking about video games. So streaming video games, what is so far the best platform in our opinion? And so today we're going to be talking about Google Stadia, PS Now, Xbox Game Pass.
Yep. The big three.
The big three.
I mean, Nintendo has one, but that's not a big three. That's just there.
Yeah, you're right. Nintendo does have one, I guess. Yeah, they do have like an online service. I mean, I would say, yeah, because I guess you do stream the games. You don't download the games on...
Right.
Yeah, so you're right. I think the only one that you do download the games is Xbox. Right? For Xbox, the Game Pass, you do download it on your PC, right?
Oh, yes, you're right. I did have to, yeah. It wasn't a full stream. It was more like they gave you the permission to have it on you, the game on you. Yeah.
So I guess
damn, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. That's not truly streaming.
Yeah, because they do have Project X Cloud, but I believe it's in beta right now. But so far the responses,
so they're not there yet.
Yeah, so far the responses have been pretty positive for X Cloud. So how about this? How about
we were actually gonna go in and compare them. Yeah, so that's already a con for Xbox.
Kind of, I think. I think we could lay out each one's what each one provides, and then we'll get into we'll talk about it more deeper. So
okay.
So Google Stadia, obviously, we'll start there. They are a streaming platform, so you could stream it on anything that has pretty much a Chrome browser. So your computer, your laptop, your tablet, and your phone.
Yep, and even the Google TV. I can't even remember what it's called right now. The Chromecast.
The Chromecast, right? And so that's a streaming.
The newest one. It's a specific one. Yeah.
The newest one. Okay. Like part of the 4K one, I'm guessing. And then obviously then there's PS Now, and that one you can stream, and you can download actually on PlayStation. You can download that.
Yes, they added the download afterwards. You weren't allowed to download in the beginning. It was just straight streaming.
Can you download it on PC? I don't think so, right? I think you can only stream it on PC.
What are you talking about? Because we were talking about PlayStation. You mean Xbox?
No, I'm talking about PlayStation. Can you download on PlayStation on a laptop? Because you can play PS Now on PC.
I didn't know that. What?
Yeah, you can play PS Now on PC.
That doesn't make sense.
So PS Now, I'm pretty sure you can't download it, but PS Now you can stream on PC, and on your PlayStation you can download most PS4 games that are available on the platform, and you can also stream PS4 games, PS3 games, PS2 games, and PS1 games.
Jesus, I didn't know that. I just found an article from 2016, and they said, yeah, you can do that as long as you have the PS Now app with an account.
Yeah.
And you just plug in your DualShock. What the fuck? I didn't know this.
Yeah, welcome to the world of streaming.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit.
You're about to become a
I'm pretty mind blown right now.
Yeah. And finally, we have Xbox Game Pass, which is obviously not a streaming platform. You can only download the games to your PC or to your Xbox. Yeah. So now that we've broken down pretty much ideally what they all offer, let's jump in entirely. So Pedro, you played Google Stadia. I haven't. I tried a free trial when they were like first going on like months ago, like the trial version, and I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you said you played on your Chromebook, and a Chromebook is honestly like a piece of shit as far as playing games, I mean.
Right.
And you said you were able to handle it. So how did that go?
I played it for like 5-10 minutes just to see. I was curious just to see if it ran, and honestly, it ran, and it was doable. It was totally like, okay, I can do this. There's some, it was like trial version, so yeah, there was some frame rate hiccups, some like stuttering, but it wasn't too bad. And I was like, okay, it peaked. It did what the trial was supposed to do. It piqued my interest, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep this on my radar for when it comes out. So I didn't jump in, but what are your impressions so far with Google Stadia?
So I know we talked about it a little bit on our quarantine episode, like very, very quickly, especially with the confusion I had between pro games and what wasn't. So now that I know about that, so pretty much I've had trouble playing the games on Wi-Fi. The only time where I play games lag-free with the perfect frame rates and everything is when I'm connected through an Ethernet, like straight connected to it. Okay. That's the only time where I'm just like, wow, this is flawless. This is amazing. It's like I have the game downloaded into the PC. Like I was playing Destiny and it didn't lag at all. I mean, except for the typical lag when there's a fuck ton of people in it. But that's not, anything. And I played a little bit of Serious Sam, this rhythm game called Thumper, which is very cool. But yeah, so I decided to take the laptop to the living room because I was like, oh, let me just play it here, connected to Wi-Fi. And Thumper's a rhythm game, so you need to be on it. And I was fucking up. I was failing missions because of the lag. It was throwing me off. And I was like, I can't play this. So that's my complaint, that because I got pretty good internet, and for it to still lag like that, it's like, man, you need flawless, like top of the line internet speed for it to flow. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you what are you what's your internet speed in terms of like what how many megabytes per download do you know on average? You don't have to.
I would have.
Exactly.
Well, I'll have to check that out. I want to say, because they say an average of 35, and I want to say mine's way past that.
Like so, like, talk about
but in all the yeah, I would say mine's at 50, maybe pushing 60. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, let's just say 50 is a safe bet.
Okay, so yeah, so you're way above the recommended amount, and so you're getting that.
The recommended.
You're probably getting. You're probably getting to like 35. Right, I'm guessing, like when you're not with the cable, and with the cable you're getting like 60.
Yeah, probably. I would say. Okay. And all the commercials, they always say recommended 35, and it's like, let's just say I am running 35. This shit is laggy as fuck.
So it's not playable.
Well, it's not comfortably playable. It's technically playable. Well, the rhythm game is unplayable completely. You'll fail everything. Because you get your space bar ready to hit the button, and then it lags and it stutters, and then when you hit it, it's already over. So that game is completely unplayable unless you're running at a really good speed. So I'm actually doing an internet test right now, since we were talking about that. While it does that, laggily, I think I'm on a different website. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, Destiny, I had to actually run on a look, it says I'm running at 78 right now megabytes per second,
but you're not plugged in though.
I'm not plugged in. This is my Wi-Fi. This is what, if I were to play a game right now, this is what on this laptop and Google, I'll be laggy still. So it's just like, what?
That's crazy.
I'm running 78 and it's still laggy, and you recommend 35. But if I'm plugged in, I don't know what I'm running when I'm plugged in. I guess I would have to check that for comparison. But I'm definitely running triple digits, I guess. And that to me is perfect. So that's my only complaint right now. I think they need to fix that up a bit, because not everyone's going to have the levels that I'm at.
Yeah, of course.
Even not connected,
Yeah, of course. If you're gonna sell a product, especially like something like that, where the minimum, like, hey, you can enjoy all our games with 35 megabytes. That's not that bad. Like 35 is about, I would think, about average. I know. Think that
it is. I
think that the lowest speeds some places offer like 25. So I think this is like 35 has to be like about average. So like I would want to hope if it's 35 my entry point, I should be able to play just fine with 35.
Yeah. So that actually got me thinking about something else about PlayStation. I've only ever played PlayStation Connected, so I don't have that comparison for the Wi-Fi. But anyway, so back to the Stadia. So the Stadia Pro, so when you pay for it monthly, you're given monthly games. And right now they got the Destiny 2 entire collection. They got Grid, the racing game. They got this adventure game called Guilt PUBG that just got added today because of the direct that they had, or the Kinect, they're calling it. The Serious Sam collection, which is I believe it's 3 first-person shooter games. I only played the first one so far, and a few other like indie games like Spitling, Stacks on Stacks, Dreamworld Dig 2, Dreamworld Quest, and Thumper, the rhythm game. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 games that you have right now. If you pay for the Pro.
Right.
Besides that, like you had mentioned last time, you just have to buy it from their service, and then you get to play it from there for free.
And what's the well, you don't pay for free. You bought it, so you don't.
Well, yeah. You bought it, but you don't pay the monthly fee. Is what I meant. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I know they have a free entry where basically it's Google Stadia and it's regular, and you basically can. The whole library of games that they have available is open to you, but you just have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And you could once you pay for the games, it's yours to play and stream. I know the Pro offers discounts, and then offers I think 2 games a month, for free.
I don't know what the additional games are, but they did mention that coming next month. Here you go. Stadia Pro content updates. So starting May 1st, they're going to have Zombie Army 4, which I've always seen the pictures for, but I don't know what the hell it is. They got SteamWorld Heist, Turing Test, and that's it. Oh, and it says Thumper is leaving at the end of April, so you got to claim it, which I did claim. That's probably one of my favorite ones, honestly. So what's that? That's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 new games. So maybe they might keep that 3 new games a month.
Right. Okay. So it kind of reminds me of PS Now, because PlayStation Plus, because PlayStation Plus gives you 2 games, or Xbox Live Gold. I think Xbox Gold gives you 2 games. Xbox Gold gives you like 3 or 4 games actually, because they give you 360 games, which now can be played on Xbox. But they give you about 4 games, and then you get those games 4 games a month. But the service is like being able to play online. So with Stadia, what they offer is that you can obviously play online for free if you own the game. That's fine. What's different is that if you get Pro, you get the games for free, and you're able to upgrade to 4K streaming as opposed to 1080,
Correct.
which is like the base entry.
Yeah, they offered a 4. And so the first month I had this, I didn't see any of the Pro discounts. So that was one of the things. I was like, what the hell am I paying for? These handful of free games and discounts that I'm not seeing. But now that I'm logged in right now, I can see that there's discounts. Like, for example, there's the Monopoly game that was like $40. Now they dropped it to 10 if you have it. DBZ game that was 50, now it's 25. So it looks like some of the games are like half off. But honestly, these games that are half off, they've been out for like a long time. So it's no surprise they're half off. Like Final Fantasy 15 is $40 and they dropped it to 20. But those are price drops you can see in Steam and everywhere else.
Yeah, and sometimes the price drops are sometimes more significant. I've seen Final Fantasy 15 for like, I think I saw like the other day for like $12 on PS Plus.
I'm going to click it right now. I'm curious if it's the Royal Edition. Okay, it is. It's the Royal Edition, which has all the extra shit to it. Cool. I was going to say, if it didn't involve that, then it's absolute BS. It's $20. But okay, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, look, Ghost Recon was $60. Now it's $20. But these are all games that have been out for a while, so they're not too... Yeah, I'm not too surprised by these deals. These deals all make sense. Like, you'll see these deals on PlayStation right now.
Right.
If you go on the sales.
And sometimes
Metro
you see
Exodus
it,
from 40 to 20. Mm-hmm.
Right. And sometimes you see the deals, like I said, heavily more discounted. So I'm wondering if it's like it could be like what is like their cut in terms of like, hey, you sell a game, we take 20%, 15%. So if you take more than your competitors, then I can't lower that game to like $10, because then I don't really get anything back. So it could be that. It could be the business in the back end of like what is Stadia's cut in terms of revenue shared, as opposed to PlayStation. Maybe PlayStation takes a smaller cut, so then they're able to discount it more and still get enough back that for them it's worth that discount.
That makes sense. That's probably why you see Nintendo stuff rarely ever gets dropped anything. It's probably because they take a huge cut out of it.
Well, Nintendo games never really go on sale, and if they do, they go and for Nintendo, it's pure profit. They don't have to really do a cut. But you also don't see I see more indie games priced higher. That's what I meant. Yeah, so it could be their cut, and it's Nintendo, so Nintendo's like, hey, this is the place for indies, so you're gonna sell more here anyway, so we have a higher.
Yeah, it's like take it or leave it.
Yeah. So that's very interesting, but yeah, they have to be competitive in terms of pricing. So at least that's good. Though. At least that like it's somewhat similar to PS Plus, maybe a couple dollars more, but you do have the benefit of playing this on the go as opposed to PlayStation.
On the go.
Yeah.
As
opposed to PlayStation.
So on the Stadia Connect today, one of the updates they did is I guess they did a partnership with EA. Right. So they're actually going to be releasing some games to the Stadia. Not part of Pro, but actually releasing it for you to be able to buy it on the system. And they got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order coming in the fall, Madden NFL in the winter, and FIFA in the winter.
Okay.
So those are the 3 EA games they added. That was one of their big talking points at the thing. And then a bunch of indie games. They're saying this is first on Stadia, yada yada. So yeah, it seems like at first I was kind of hating on it. I was like, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But you know what? It's starting to build up to be respectable in my eyes. So
okay. So at this point, do you think it's worth it? Would you recommend it?
I wouldn't recommend the Pro. No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. Maybe when they get a better lineup going, I would think it's worth keeping it. And I'm probably a little biased because some of these games. Let me look at that lineup again. Actually, no, not really. I haven't played any of the Heist Worlds, but still, I don't know. I'm not feeling it yet. It needs to have a better lineup in a month. If it has a really good month with some like extra good games, then I'll be like, fuck yeah, I get it.
Okay,
but at the moment, I wouldn't recommend it, but I would say keep an eye on it.
Okay, so yeah, so you're not recommending it, and you're not recommending Pro, but are you recommending Stadia? So for example, let's say currently there's a game that comes out and it's available on PlayStation and Stadia. Would you tell me to get it on Stadia, or would you tell me to get it on PlayStation?
Oh, that's tricky because of what I said about the internet speeds. That still has me worried. If they can get that smoothed out, I would say Stadia.
So eventually, if let's say in an ideal world, because we're next 10 consoles are going to come out, crossplay is going to slowly become a thing for all video games. I'm guessing in the next 5 years. Would you say that? Would Stadia be your main choice? Main console, main preferred place to play if the internet and the streaming was pretty much on point, like flawless?
Yeah, I would say best case is this works exactly like how they want it to work. Then yeah, I would say. Obviously, I love a lot of PlayStation exclusives, so that won't happen. But everything else, I would say Stadia is the go-to because as much as I like PlayStation Now, it takes too long to boot up the game. You got to open up the app, then you got to wait for it to load, then you got to go through it. No. In Stadia, you just pop it in, you literally just hit the play button, and you're already in. It's so freaking fast.
Okay.
It's crazy fast. So this is definitely a go-to for sure.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So I would say so far, for anyone listening, they're interested. If you don't have a console and you want to play games during the quarantine, during this time, whatever, or in general, this is possibly so far your best bet. If you have a console, then you might want to just stick to your console.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, cool. All right, so then let's talk about PS Now, which I paid.
PS Now.
And you played a little bit, possibly when it first came out?
I would say it had been out for a year. It had been out for a year. I want to say I played in like its second or third year running because I was awarded a month free. And I was like, all right, let's check it out. And then I played through all the God of War games. I remember it was in preparation for the new God of War. So I played it and it ran pretty damn good. I think it lagged a little bit when I was in what was the name of that one? God of War Ascension, which is already like the super heavy duty looking one.
Yeah.
Which is the one that didn't make it to the collection, or it didn't make it to the trilogy. But yeah, that one. That's probably the only time it lagged. But I thought it ran pretty good. The thing was, you got to download the game. No, wait, no, you didn't have to download.
No, you
They didn't add download yet.
You can't download PS3 games.
Mm-hmm.
You can only download some PS2 games, and I think most of the PS4 games now.
You're right. Yeah, I played a little bit of Mirror's Edge 2. Yeah, okay, so I do remember it lagged a decent amount, not as much as what Stadia does now with just on Wi-Fi, but it lagged then, and I was connected to the actual internet, so for that to still lag then, that was a big deal. But that was a while ago, so I haven't had a chance to test it now, but you have.
I have, yes. So I did play. I'm currently playing Kuni.
Oh, that's a good one. The first one, right?
Yeah, I'm playing it now, and that's what a great game. I've never played it before, so I wanted to play it. But I also played Control, which is a PS4 game that just came out. That normally is a game that's from when it was reviewed on PS4. It had technical problems, So this is like a game a game that already had technical problems going in, like with the disc or with it fully installed,
Yeah.
But I played like maybe 3 or 4 hours, streaming it, and it played well, man. There was a graphical, like it felt like the colors felt muted. That's all. Like the colors felt a bit muted, and like some textures were like looked a little bit fuzzy. That's it. But I'm not like, I'm not playing it for that, So I played it for like 3 or 4 hours, and it was extremely, extremely, like, it ran fine. It ran perfectly fine. And this is a game where, like, it's a very fast, kinetic game, where you have to dodge, you have to, like, block, you have to throw an item to an enemy, you have to shoot. So it's a third-person shooter. So it's not a game that, like, like Ni no Kuni, if it like, which is an RPG, if that lagged a bit, it's okay because it's an RPG. I could take my time. But this is a fast kinetic game that I needed to make sure that I ran really well, and it did. But my internet is fucking immaculate plugged in. I get like 100 plugged in, so it was plugged in, and so streaming it at 100 megabytes per second, it looked muted and stuff like that. But playing it wise, it played just fine. And I think regardless, when it comes to streaming, they just lower the quality in general. So like, it really doesn't matter how fast your internet is. They just lower the quality of like the image, So, but I thought it played fine. It played well enough that I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep the service.
Nice. That's good. That's what they want. So shit, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. It worked enough for me. Okay, I'll keep playing this.
And let me tell you, so you played this recently, right?
Right, I played maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We're gonna drop a like a quick spoiler free review of Control soon. But yeah, I played it recently. I thought it was actually really, really great. Like I liked how it played, and one of the
I was going to say that's good because I know a lot of people were worried. Well, even the companies had mentioned because of this whole COVID thing and COVID-19 thing, and everyone's inside streaming, they were going to lower rates of the frame rates and stuff of streaming. So the fact that it still runs really good, that's impressive.
Yeah, and I think out of the services, I would say that this is possibly the most. This one has the most games, like without a doubt.
For sure.
It has over 900 games.
Yeah.
And so I totally recommend it for someone who doesn't have a PlayStation at all, who's never played any PlayStation games. So it's
and how much is it a month? Let me see.
It's $10 a month, and that includes PC. So for $10 a month, you can play on your PS4 and PC. And some of the standout games that you can play right now on it are Marvel Spider-Man, which was obviously one of the best games of 2017.
Yeah, it says here Spider-Man, Tomb Raider, and Just Cause 4.
Yeah, so those are pretty recent games, pretty top tier games.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the best games on there are Spider-Man, Control, Last of Us, obviously the PS3 game, but still an amazing game. Bloodborne,
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. So just that alone.
It's funny because I've been wanting to get it so I can play, because I was thinking about like Kojima stuff, and I was like, man, I really want to play Zone of the Enders again, the first one, because the first one didn't make it to PS4. They only redid the second one, and I was like, fuck, where can I play? And I went, I could play it on PlayStation Now. So I'm pretty tempted just to play that and maybe the old Metal Gear games, because I've been wanting to play that trilogy again.
Yeah, I mean, it runs really well, man. It runs really well. I think it's a solid service, especially if you never owned a PlayStation console. Mm-hmm. Because it, like PS3 wise, it has like the hits of the best PS3 games. PS4 wise, it has a lot of really good PS4 games, but just not like all like the heavy hitters.
Right. So I have a question about these monthly games. Like, for example, what was it? God of War, like the quintessential God of War, which is the newest one.
Yeah.
That one was on the service, so that one, even if you downloaded it, you couldn't use it past that month.
So what they do is that they'll have, like, for example, like Control is available until August. Spider-Man's available until July.
Mm-hmm.
Tomb Raider is available until August. So they'll have like these blockbuster games, but they only have it for a short amount of time. So 4 months, 5 months.
So it's not like, let me try. Like PlayStation Plus, for example, where it's like, oh, I gotta claim that game before the month is over, and then later on I could play it when I want. That's not how this works. Like when it's gone, it's really gone.
Yeah, when it's gone, it's really gone.
Okay.
So you play while you can, but they do have a lot of games that are just like they're gonna be on the service indefinitely into further notice. But those games tend to be like smaller titles or games that have been out for like years. I'm guessing it's something to do with, and Game Pass does the same thing, and so does Stadia. So it has to do with like just a contract thing where like, okay, we're not making money on this game now, and the game's been out for 5 years. Okay, yeah, put it on your service. What do I care? But
it makes sense. Movie streaming services do the same thing. So yeah, it does make sense. I was just curious. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think honestly, PS Now is a great service. I still have it. We have Mike, he's playing Control currently. And I asked him how it ran. Yeah, basically. And I asked him how it ran. He said it ran great. So with that being said, yeah, I truly think that it is a solid service to get if you don't have a PlayStation. Like, I feel like if you already like are like a PS fanboy and you play PlayStation and you own the PS2, if you own the PS3, then this might not be the service for you. But PS4s are pretty cheap now to buy for like $200. You never played one, and you never own a console. Then yeah, this is definitely a good service. And if you just have a PC, like you never own a console, definitely. Like with the library alone, over 900 games.
Yeah, you'll be there forever. You won't need anything else.
It's a no-brainer, yeah. Because honestly, even in this day and age, like indie games and stuff like that, indie games are just a throwback to retro games. Basically for the most part. And for PlayStation Now, you get a ton of retro games. So if you're like a person who loves indie games, there's something for you there. And then if you're a person who loves like big budget blockbuster games, definitely there's something for you there. So honestly, I really do. I think, and I saw like an article a while back saying that they might do a deal with Xbox to use like their cloud service eventually in the future.
Okay.
So PlayStation now, like, I feel like they realize that streaming is the future and it's only gonna get better and better. Currently, I think they have the best. They have the best package currently.
Definitely.
In terms of games, they have the best package.
Yeah.
So, moving forward to Xbox Game Pass, which has been said to be the best service.
Interesting. So you were mentioning the amount of games PlayStation had. While you were doing that, I looked at how many games Xbox has. They have 412.
They have 412 with both PC and Xbox combined.
Correct.
Yeah, but separately, Xbox has 263, and then PC has 198 and 198 titles available. Obviously, those titles, like, you know, they kind of jump back and forth.
Some of them intersect. So, So now that you put that, it's less than 400 games.
Right.
Damn, less than half of what PlayStation has.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. If you have a PC, I think if you have both, then yeah. I think that's the difference. But if you have one or the other, you're only getting like half of what you could possibly be getting. But the reason why I say it's the best service is because you can download your games, and people seem to like it. It is Game Pass that has made every other service like change its tune, because they offer all of Xbox first party catalog.
Right, all of them. That's crazy.
Yeah,
PlayStation hasn't done that, and they started downloading. They added the downloading games because Xbox did it first. Right,
and they did that recently. But on everything you see on Xbox, you can download on PC or on Xbox. So what did you so far you done Game Pass? Talk to me about it.
Yeah. So I don't have a Xbox and never owned a single one, but I did get the pass because I wanted to try out the PC games. And I had never played a Halo game in my entire life. Only, multiplayer, couch, co-op, when I went over friends' houses, but I never went through the campaign or anything. So I was like, fuck it, let me get it to at least just get started on the Halo series. So, so I got on it. I've been playing through the first Halo, the remastered version. And man, it's great. It runs perfect. Well, of course it runs perfect because I downloaded it, but it's really good. And I've been looking at the list of all these games and I've been adding them. So getting ready to play them, but I'm still on the Halo series. So after that, I'm gonna get through 1, 2, and 3. Reach, 4 is not available, or 5, but still, I have the first 3 plus Reach and this other game, so there's plenty. But that was the main reason why I went to it. I really wanted to get to that series because that was one of the only exclusives they had that I was really interested in. And yeah, I'm looking at the list right now, and there's plenty of like great indie games, but I've been happy with it so far. And it's the same thing. They have discounts. I would love to get it on a system if I owned the system. Pretty much, if I bought an Xbox, I would get this easily. It really is a no-brainer.
I have an Xbox controller. If you want to borrow it, so you can like play with an Xbox controller. What are you playing?
Maybe.
How are you playing it now, on your laptop? Like with
because I've done laptop gaming for a long time, so to me it's just better with aiming. So I'm like headshots all day. So that's something I can't do on console, no matter how many first persons I play.
So I tried Game Pass for I think about a month or two. I played Outer Worlds on it. Outer Worlds.
Yep. I see it right here. It's one of the top.
Yeah, I played it. I like the game, obviously, but the service I did like. It's just, Xbox, in my opinion, doesn't really have the best catalog in terms of games. No. Like their first party games, some of them are great, but they don't really I don't really gravitate towards them. And then the indie games, nothing really calls my name. I play a little bit of them, but not too much.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because you can get them everywhere else, and a lot of them we've played already.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's just something that's on me. Like, not really more of a consumer. That's just me because we play games constantly. So same thing for PS Now. Like, PS Now to me, it's only valuable for me because I get to play older games that I probably didn't play. But the PS4 games that are available, I played. So like, there's no point in me playing those games. Same thing goes for Xbox. So, but they have a more of heavy hitters in terms of like, these are exclusive Xbox games that are only on here, and just announced is for Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to Game Pass. So that's huge.
No, that is nice.
So they must have paid a lot of money to get that on the service.
Yeah. What was the other one I was playing? I was playing Gris. That's the other one I was playing, which is like that 2D. Again, it's an indie game. It was one I was just looking at and I just lost it. Oh well. Ori and the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, they're exclusives. They have good exclusives, but they just don't have the amount of good exclusives that Sony has.
Yeah, but then also Sony doesn't really have them on a service, so.
Yeah.
And some of these games are on PS Now. Some of these games are on Xbox Game Pass. So it's just like the separation, I think, out of these two, it's just like, well, PS Now offers more games. But you do get to have that trade-off of like, you have to stream these games as opposed to downloading. So obviously downloading is going to be more superior.
Yeah, so many of these I've played already. So I'm like, damn, if I would have known, if I hadn't played it when it first came out. I got Alien Isolation, great. The Yakuza series, great. Untitled Goose Game, like those are all. I got those on Switch. Oh, it's on there,
awesome.
Shit.
That's pretty cool.
But that's only for console, so I wouldn't be able to play that even if I wanted to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they got a pretty solid list.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do, and time and time again, I always hear people praise Xbox Game Pass for being like the Netflix of gaming.
I could see that. Oh, Sea of Thieves. That's one that I've been wanting to try out.
I tried it out for like 20 minutes, but it's one of those games that you have to fully immerse yourself in it because like the 20 minutes of you playing it is you getting your feet wet. So you don't know anything in 20 minutes. So.
Was there a pun intended there with the Sea of Thieves?
Possibly. So overall, out of the now that let's kind of like bring it all together. Now we have these three services. We kind of experienced, except for me, I didn't play Stadia. You experienced almost every service. But in terms of our conversations, what do you think? What reigns supreme in your head?
Okay, now that we've put it all together, we all brought up our points. I'm going to say PS Now because I play games to play games. Like, I go for the fun factor, and yeah, so definitely PlayStation to me is the number one. And Xbox will be second, and Stadia would be last.
Yeah.
But if Stadia picks up their speed to be what they want it to be, flawless, and they get their game library, I think it can beat both of them.
But why is that? Because of the possibility of play anywhere?
Yeah.
But would you really
and whatever exclusives they'll be getting in the future, because they'll be getting their own exclusives.
Right. You personally, would you play on your phone a game on the tiniest screen?
No, I wouldn't play on the phone. But I would pop open my laptop.
Right.
And just play it like while I'm sitting on the couch with it on my lap. I would totally do that instead of having to go over to the system, boot it up, all that stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Because it's
for that reason. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the portability of it all.
Mm-hmm. And it's just so fast. It blew my mind how fast I was able to boot it up even now. So I was like, this is mind blowing to me. A fucking web browser, and I could play a AAA game. It's crazy. Because I was doing the Destiny 2 with all the shit going. Yeah, I was I was like, man, the possibility, give it another year, and this will be really good. Well, I don't think in another year it'll be better than PlayStation, but if it gets more exclusives like they're planning, where they're getting companies to make shit for it, in the future I could see it surpassing both, or at least making the other two get their shit together.
Yeah, I think competition's gonna like how we saw now. Competition has made Stadia like get their shit together. They clearly launched pretty badly. They should have launched in the beta, because then people's expectations would have been more tempered. But yeah. So going forward, they just had to do like a rebranding, a remarketing of like what, and they're doing it now. Basically, hey, Stadia is free coming in, so they're doing that now. Hopefully, they can get more subscribers and more people coming in. I'm actually interested just to try it out. So I'll probably do I think Pro is free for a little bit, right?
Yeah, it is. So 2 months, I believe.
So I'm gonna jump in for sure. But once you claim the game, do you keep it forever after you lose Pro?
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh no, not when you lose Pro. When you lose Pro, it's done. But when you claim it, when it goes to the next month, you'll still keep it.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like PS Now. It's kind of like PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean, I guess that's what, from my understanding, that's why I went in right now. As we were talking, I went in and I started claiming everything, even the stuff I don't give a shit about playing. I claimed it anyways, just to have. So I guess when next month comes around, which is like another fucking week, then I'll be able to tell you 100% sure. But I'm like 90% sure that that's how it works.
Yeah, that sounds like how PlayStation Plus works. Like, hey, this game's available for this month to download, and then if you miss that window, you don't download it, you don't claim it, then you don't own it. But then if you also do not have PlayStation Plus anymore, you also can't play those games. So it sounds like the same thing. Yeah, man, I truly think I think PlayStation, like I said, like we're both playing it on a very high speed. So obviously our experiences have been better than others. So that has to be that has to be the caveat, the asterisk that's thrown in there. Like, beware though, we have high speed internet. So if you don't have high speed internet, PlayStation probably isn't your best bet. And if that's the case, then your best bet is Xbox. So yeah, I think I just think that what PlayStation offers in terms of just the vast library is just unmatched.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I know we didn't want to bring it up too, but now since we brought it up already, really quickly, the Nintendo Switch, their free games is essentially playing old ass Nintendo games, like from the NES and Super
and SNES, yeah, and Super NES.
Yep. Yeah, but it's not even the full collection. See, if it was the full collection, I'd be like, this is amazing. But it's only a few hand-picked ones. And that's what's got me. And they haven't really been updating their stuff monthly like they promised they would. So, I mean, it's ridiculously cheap. It's like less than $10 a month. Year.
It's $20 a year. So, I mean, at that point, yeah.
Well,
at that point,
we did the family plan. That's why I was thinking that.
Yeah. It's like $20 a year, so honestly, like it's a no brainer. If you have a Nintendo, you have a Switch, just get it. Why not? Besides, you can't play online without it. Even though Nintendo is possibly the weakest one out of the we just mentioned. Even though because it's cheap, it's still the weakest one. But
agreed.
I would say just get it because it's so cheap.
Yeah. Absolutely. Online, I've been playing Tetris 99. That's ridiculously fun. I've been playing some Smash Bros. You know, I haven't played Mario Kart. I got to get on Mario Kart online. I'm curious how that runs. But most of the time, the Smash Bros. Stuff runs smoothly. And Tetris 99 is smooth as hell, for sure, because it's basic stuff. And I have played the classic NES or SNES, mostly the Zelda stuff, because I'm super biased. But like Mario World, the old school Mario Kart, I've played those, and those are super fun. It just needs to keep bringing it up, because they only got like 70 plus games right now. I know that sounds like a lot, but when you look at them, it's like games. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna play this for 5 minutes and move on. It's like arcade games, you know, where you're not really gonna be around it day after day. So
right, because it's really just it's only intended to play for like 10 minutes and then you're done. Some of those games
old school. old school Donkey Kong, that's the arcade Donkey Kong. How long are you really going to play it?
Yeah, so. Some of those games you can only play for like 30 minutes anyway. You could beat those games like in less than like 10 sometimes. So you're right.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they really, really need to step up their game catalog. I don't know why they've always been weird with that. Even I think they called it the retro console back in the Wii and the Wii U stages. They were super slacking when it came to adding games there. I just don't understand that. Virtual console. You're right. It was virtual console where they had the retro games.
Yeah, because the thing is, what they're doing is that they're not going to bring back the virtual console. This is like somewhat of their virtual console.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm just waiting. If they get this to, I don't think it'll happen because I know how Nintendo works, that they're fucking always a generation behind with things. But if they can get a really good Nintendo 64 emulator, because that's essentially what you're doing, you're playing an emulator. If they can get a good N64 emulator to be part of this, and you play N64 games on it as part of the monthly games, that'll be fucking mind blowing. People will flock to this like crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Especially just think about it. People playing GoldenEye. I mean, think about it. If they can get GoldenEye on there, that's it. It's over. It's completely over.
Especially for that price. It's so cheap that regardless of what servers we're talking about now, if you have a Switch, just get it. It's the only way you can play online anyway. So you have no choice at that point.
Yeah, you got Splatoon. Sorry, you got to get this. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're in agreement. PlayStation, if you have a good internet connection, and obviously if you never played PlayStation games before, and then Xbox for your second choice.
Yep.
Which is because you can download the games. You have Xbox first party games, which some are amazing. Halo series, Gears of War series, and then we have Stadia, which is just. I think they offer all different things. You have downloaded games, you have a vast library, and then you have one that offers portability. So just think about how you game and how you want to game, and then look into these services and which one is right for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I concur.
All right, guys. So that concludes our episode. Follow us on social media if you can. Give us a like, give us a review, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Popcorn Heroes.
Bye-bye.
Later, guys.